Hello. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to speak to this item. Again, echoing what the previous two deputations have said. My name is Hannah Kearns. I am a social worker and project lead for the Multicultural Family Base. One of the services that I am responsible for is the Mosaic project, which I have staffed since its inception. The Mosaic project is currently funded by the City of Edinburgh Council's Community Mental Health Fund, and we have had notice that the funding will cease in October. I would like to not repeat what the prior deputations have said, but to highlight a few points to demonstrate the efficacy and continued need for the service provided by Mosaic. And I would implore both the committee and the Joint Commissioning Board to consider these items when making the upcoming commissioning decisions. The Mosaic project was originally formed in response to low levels of uptake in minority ethnic communities for mental health support, and the need for a specialised service became apparent. The Mosaic project supports young people aged 12 to 17 from ethnically diverse backgrounds who are experiencing poor mental health. These mental health challenges are varied, but include stress and anxiety, depression, complex trauma, self-harm, suicidal ideation, history of attempts, and eating disorders. The support provided is primarily delivered as group work, but with individual and family support common as well. These young people have not been able to access support from mainstream services and required a specialised, culturally competent approach. There are many barriers for these young people in accessing mental health support, which may be community-based stigma or a mistrust of services. Others may not live in areas and may not feel safe enough to travel to the venues. The Multicultural Family Base has, over the past 25 years, established a reputation amongst minority ethnic families as a culturally safe source of support. This has gone some way to support the young people to engage in our service, but the efforts by the staff to ensure that the time, care and consideration is taken to get to know each young person, to build that relationship necessary to ensure the support offered is appropriate and effective. Over these past few years, particularly in the past two, the risk associated with the young people's needs have increased significantly. We have much higher incidence of young people coming to us with prior suicide attempts, active self-harm, substance misuse and eating disorders. Additionally, the current cohort of young people were significantly affected by the COVID-19 pandemic. Many made the transition to high school during the first lockdown and before the remote provision was established or accessible. Most were unable to engage in remote learning and were some of the latest to resume socialisation. This has compounded the external challenges experienced by these young people, many of which are social in nature. They have extreme panic and anxiety in social situations, substantial experiences of bullying, of racism, or of general feelings of difference. Where the challenges are social in nature, so the support should be. Skilled specialised group work is able to not only teach positive coping strategies, but also provides a positive peer group, and it is this factor which is often the most powerful for our young people to develop a sense of hope. The group itself accommodates around 25 young people per year, but the impact is not limited to these individual members. Through attending the group, young people and their families are able to access other supports through wider services offered by both ourselves and the Junction. For as little as £13,000 a year, we have been able to support young people to develop the communication and coping skills necessary to describe and respond to their feelings. This allows them to build resilience, to better cope with difficulties, and to begin to take positive steps in life. We have also created a space for young people to just be who they are, where they do not need to perform to the expectations of school or home. We have created an environment in which the young people value and feel valued in. These are young people that cite the group as one of the only places they feel listened to, and who tell their friends, just give it a go, because I always feel better after. We, as Community Mental Health Fund service providers, have been asked to complete an exit strategy, but we do not yet know what future provision will be. As these decisions are in process, I would like to ask the relevant parties to recognise that the loss of this and the other services would prove highly detrimental for our already marginalised young people and would serve to worsen existing disparities in outcomes for our diverse communities. Thank you.